Hello and welcome to the Lucas Nuller webinars. So my name is Daniel Brown. I'm here with my good friend and colleague Christian Klingler.
Hi from my side as well. Good to be here. Good to have you here.
And yeah, great to see you. We've got people from literally all around the world signing in today.
That's
great to
cool.
Write in where you're looking in from in chat. We always love to hear where the people are signing in from.
Absolutely.
So today we're going to have a look at the CarTrain high voltage battery trainer. So we've got a video lined up from you that you made earlier, Christian.
That's right.
Have a look at. This is a system that I personally love working with. Been all around the world with this system, set it up in schools, America, China, Africa, and I really love working with this one. And we're going to have a look at some of the things that you show us in the video later. What are some of the highlights, you might say, or some of what can we do with that, for example?
Well, as you said, when we hear that you have traveled all over the world, basically to train the system, to show it, or also to put it into operation at the different colleges, car manufacturers, or whatever you have been to, there you see that there's a very high acceptance regarding that training system, and as well the other one, which we have seen on Monday, for example. We go in a little bit more detail about this later on. But okay, when we are talking about the high voltage battery, we are talking more or less about the central element, about the heart of the hybrid or the electric vehicle. But even when it's the most important part of the car, it's also the most critical part, especially regarding the safety. So we all know hybrid and electric vehicles are well established, they are absolutely safe, exactly the same safety level like a combustion engine car or whatever else you want to think about it. But the problem really comes down inside the workshop. So especially if you have to work on a high voltage battery, it's one thing to shut down the high voltage system and work around the high voltage battery, but it's a completely different thing if you have to step inside the high voltage battery and open it up. Because as we all know, while you can shut down the high voltage all around the car, you are not able to shut it down in the high voltage battery.
Absolutely.
So if you get in touch with the high voltage battery, there will be always high voltage, and you have to be on a maximum level when you think about safety measures and all that, how you can protect yourself. So that's so important. And I think that's the unique thing about this trainer. And correct myself, but I do not know any other trainer which is comparable with this one, especially from the practical side. If you are talking about hands-on training, we are talking here basically, you have a real high voltage battery with lithium ion cells on it. So we have a real high voltage level. We are above 60 volt. So that means we are operating or we are working on a real high voltage battery, but everything is designed that way that it's completely student safe. So that's like the unique thing which we have here, that you have a real high voltage battery, but it's completely student safe. So everything you can do on a real car, on a real high voltage battery, you can do here as well, but you are not in 1 second. There is the risk that you're getting in trouble with a high voltage battery.
Okay, so one of the things that was really a big deciding factor when we made this system was, as you were saying before, it was about, you could, for example, Toyota Prius was probably the most predominant hybrid vehicle. We call them hybrid electric, so they still run on electric motor. So there is still a high voltage battery in there, but in the Prius, for example, before the plug-in Prius, so maybe something we'll probably go into a little bit more technical details today. Absolutely. As well, because we're both on the product development and training side here. So, and I think, and let us know if you want to hear more technical things. Just send in the questions, and we'll go as deep as you're interested. But for example, hybrid vehicles, if you're looking at a normal hybrid vehicle like the old Prius, they're nickel metal hydride batteries.
Yes.
But as soon as you go into anything plug-in, so that includes the pure electric, but you also get hybrid vehicles that are plug-in as well that can drive for, say, 50 kilometers or 30 miles. And once we start going into the lithium, that's when it gets a little bit dangerous. So the old days with Toyota, Prius, you could just order a new battery and they'll send it, ship it, no problem.
That was basically easy, exactly. So at the start, or back in the day, where we were right at the beginning of hybrid electric vehicles, where you basically, if you saw a Prius on the road, it was a little bit of, okay, very special. The car looks very special. So it didn't fit in the picture of the all-day street life, for example, or the traffic picture. But nowadays, like you said, we have a lot more cars on the road which are hybrid or electric vehicle. It's not just Toyota, it's Audi, it's Tesla, and many, many more. And of course, when we are talking about the most important part of the car, unfortunately, it's also the case that's the most expensive part of the car. So like Daniel said, the car manufacturer, of course, find out when there was a problem back in the day with the high voltage battery. They just put it or took it out of the car, send it back to the car manufacturer, and you got a new one. Nowadays, you definitely know that this is too expensive, especially regarding...
It's just too dangerous.
Too dangerous.
A lot of shipping companies just will not ship those batteries.
They don't ship the battery, but also we are talking about material and resources which are going into the high voltage battery. And here, it's an absolutely critical element that the technician, the high voltage technician, learns to open the high voltage battery, to understand what's inside the high voltage battery and how to repair it.
So that's happened here in Germany, for example, with, I think the manufacturers have said the dealerships will be responsible for repairing batteries of the electric vehicles. There's no such thing as switching out the whole batteries.
Exactly.
The people are going to have to really understand what the problem is within the battery and repair it on site.
And if you say that, so when we are taking our perspective a little bit away from just the car manufacturers, when we are looking at the certain curriculums all over the world, so for example, in Germany, there is this DGUV, quite strange name, but that's how it is called.
It's basically the occupational health and safety for those years around the world.
But we won't say now the German translation for that, that makes it crazy.